An important perspective on the all-important event, which is elections. Swaminathan Aiyar, consulting editor, ET now joins in with what he's making of the political situation and all that is expected from the coming week. Swami, great to have you. Now, you're just back from your election yatra. You have travelled across eastern UP and Bihar. What's the mood like on the ground? Is there a strong Modi wave, or is it only in the television studios?
Both in eastern UP and in central Bihar, there was a very clear, strong sentiment in favor of Modi. I would say even more in Bihar, in central Bihar, than in eastern UP. You found it in remote villages, which you would not have thought are particularly well informed. When you ask people, everybody seems to think Modi will do some good things. They are usually not able to explain the basis of this. But they say the word has gone around that this man has done good things in Gujarat and he will do good things here.
So, what about Bihar? Field reports seem to suggest that it is Lalu who's likely to make big gains there. What did you pick up?
No, the plain arithmetic suggests that Lalu is fairly strong in some areas. Certainly the opinion polls put him number 2, well ahead of Nitish Kumar at number 3. It's also worth emphasizing that lots of people told us Nitish Kumar has done a good job. But you know, voting for Nitish Kumar is no use for a parliamentary election. So many people said we will vote for Nitish in the state election, but for the central election we are voting for BJP.
Right, Swami, the BJP fielded Modi from Varanasi because they felt it could positively impact the entire eastern UP belt. Do you see that happening?
Well, Varanasi has a lot of symbolic power, but I don't think symbolic power alone will do it. What seems to have happened is that there is a substantial amount of migrant labor that has gone from Bihar and UP to Gujarat. And they have reported back that things run very well here and run very peacefully here. So even the accusation that Modi, was responsible for the 2002 riots, they are saying whatever may have happened in 2002, it would appear that Gujarat is much more peaceful today than Uttar Pradesh is. That message came through very clearly, that there was no fear of Gujarat, no fear of Modi, as some people have been trying to put out. And I think the word of mouth from the migrants carries much more weight than any number of interviews on television or any number of propaganda posters or TV advertisements. That word of mouth has done it.
Well, Swami, the BJP may deny it, but we've seen a lot of polarization in this election. How is this going to play out, and how do you think this will impact the Muslim vote?
The Muslims in eastern UP whom I came across, they are very clear that they will vote either for the BSP or the SP. They are not going to vote for the BJP. But that is unsurprising, and that by itself doesn't tell you too much. Muslims are maybe 20% of the population. They will have an impact if they do strategic voting in some constituencies, no doubt about it. So I have no doubt that it's not as though there's going to be 100% sweep. And yet I would not be surprised if Modi gets 50 plus seats in Uttar Pradesh.
What about the BSP, Swami? Many believe it could put up a strong show and catch everyone by surprise. Do you see that happening?
Simply talking to villagers, we probably don't have a large enough sample to really give you anything authoritative. Yes, the Dalits are pro-BSP, and yet the youngsters, when we talk to all the youngsters below the age of 30, even in the Dalit villages, they were for BJP. They also talked about Narendra Modi. So there is no doubt that Modi has eaten into the vote of BSP to a certain extent. He has eaten into the vote of the SP, because the so-called extreme backward classes, which once upon a time were perhaps with SP, they too seem to see Modi as one of them, very backward caste, somebody who is coming up. And there is a message of optimism and a message of hope that he is sending out. I think he'll find it difficult to live up to that. But this message of optimism and hope has, I would say, captured the imagination of people across the Hindu castes although not the Muslims. In these circumstances, if, as I said, if BJP is going to get 50 plus, it means both the BSP and SP are going to suffer severe losses.
Swami, just hold on for a moment, please. Two news that I want to point out. One is the Nifty, which had just for a brief moment went up to 3% and therefore the world's best performing index. The other one, which is just news out, that Anjani Sinha has been granted bail. Now, this may not have any implications for FT or MCXS stocks, or it may well do, but this is an important development from the proceedings point of view, because a lot come about going ahead from Anjani Sinha as well, and he's now been granted bail. So just watch out, this is an important development. MCX is up 3%, moving up a little bit. Again, I'm saying this is not with regards to this particular announcement, but yes, important development in this case. Mind you, this is a space which is in news, so watch out for that one. One, NSCL, so FT and MCX, and two, Nifty, just the Nifty being up 3%, the world's best performing index. That's a stellar move that we're seeing for our index in today's session. But Swami, getting back to the topic at hand, how do you read Modi's comments on niche Rajniti? I mean, a lot of people say aimed at polarizing voters on the caste lines as well.
Look, most of this is political theatre, and I think everybody understands that. People are hurling abuses, people are seeing all kinds of tendencies where they may not actually exist. The idea whether or not he said Priyanka is his beti, whether or not Priyanka actually said something about lower caste. I mean, all this is being greatly exaggerated and magnified. I don't think these are the issues which will decide the election. It is much, much bigger, broader issues of what has life been like in the last few years, and is there somebody who can find a way out of this. I think that big, broad picture is what matters.
Let's talk about Amethi then, Swami, the Gandhi stronghold, so to speak. I know you didn't travel there, but will it be a tough contest, or is it going to be another cakewalk as always for the Gandhis?
If you go back to the last state election, both in Raebareli and Amethi, Priyanka was put in charge of those, and she lost 8 out of the 10 assembly segments. So I think it has to be said that the Congress is vulnerable. Having said that, there's a very clear difference between whom you vote for a parliamentary poll. In the parliamentary poll, if you're voting for Sonia and Rahul, that's very different from voting for various miscellaneous congressmen who have been put there for the state election. So, I mean, most people will say that the two Gandhis should be safe.
Okay, so it's time to stick your neck out, Swami. What do you think could be the best case scenario in UP from BJP's point of view? Could they top 50 seats?
I think that is credible. I think they could get more than 50 seats, yes. And it's worth recalling that Atal Bihari Vajpayee got 57 seats from UP in 1998. So it would not be unprecedented. It has happened before.
Okay, your response to this question is going to be critical because the market mood is pretty much hinging on the anticipation of this magic number. Let's talk about the national picture. Does 272 look probable for the NDA, or do you think, like most others, that they will fall short?
Well, I'll simply say this. A difference of 1 or 2 percentage points can translate into 30-40 seats. Because of that, there are large areas of uncertainty. Is it possible, is it conceivable that the NDA will get to 270? It is conceivable. Is it probable? I think they will probably fall short of that.
Okay, we record highs for the Nifty as well. But Swami, I'll just take in one more question. Given this campaigning, it's pretty clear that Mayawati and Mamta are unlikely to support the NDA. So who can the BJP count on if they get 230 seats?
If the NDA can get to 235 or 240, I think they will manage somehow to form a government even without the 3 formidable ladies, Mayawati, Mamta and Jayalalitha. And that certainly will be their aim. The second possible aim, which some people are speculating on, and it's completely theoretical, is that they will take at least 2 of the ladies on board, so that even if one of them threatens to desert, they will not be disturbed. There is one line of thinking saying that if we are dependent on these other people, we should not aim for 275, we must aim for 325. Because if we have 325 with all the ladies, then any one of them can threaten, and we don't have to back end because they cannot topple us. But this is a purely theoretical construct.
Yeah, but it's playing on the market's mind, which is at record highs. Just last question, Swami, before we let you go. 2 months back, you said 40% chance of Modi becoming PM and 40% chance of BJP forming a government without Modi as the PM, that is. What's it looking like now? What are the chances?
No, I would say it's at least 90% chance today of Modi as PM. The chances of BJP without Modi, I think, is zero. I think they have decided that if Modi can't make it, they would rather allow a fragile third front to continue for some time and collapse and come back with Modi. I think the option of BJP without Modi is more or less gone. And the chances of the third front, which earlier I'd put at 20%, by now I think I would put it at only 10%. 10%.
Okay, Swami, we'll let you go at that. Thanks so much for joining in today and